I'm going to start recording. You ready?
Sure. Why not? A's for Apple.
Okay. Hello, podcast universe. Welcome to Not the Worst Podcast, episode 4. I am JD, and I'm joined by my co-host, Anthony. Say hi, Anthony.
Hi, Anthony.
I walked into it. I knew it was coming, and I let it happen. And I apologize. I apologize to anyone who heard it. So we are here with another episode, and we're going to talk a little bit about. We got like Minecraft. We got NBA. We got charity. We're talking about charity because we're good people. Right?
One of us is.
Wow. Cold.
I'll let the others be the judge. It's not as cold as my beer, though.
You got a nice cold beer. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything. I have an empty glass of water. Shame.
Oh, you know what my panic shopping was? It was alcohol.
Yeah, that's about right. Gotta make sure you're stocked up. Gotta have the essentials. So one thing we wanted to talk about before we even got into the big topics was Valorant. The game that we talked about in episode 1 has gotten a lot more details. They even had like a private play time with streamers and pro players over the weekend, and they're launching a closed beta. So if you guys want to get in on that, you can. You just have to sign up on Riot. Riot Games are the people who make Valorant. Then you have to link your Riot account to a Twitch account, and then once people start streaming Valorant, which will be probably here in the next few days, you just have to watch one of those streams, and then you'll get sent access to the beta. Something like that. Right?
I missed that part, so I'm glad I'm glad I tuned into this podcast to hear that.
Yeah. So now Anthony knows how to sign up for the game.
I did everything up until the whole streaming part.
Yeah, you just have to watch somebody streaming it, and you probably don't even have to watch. Just open up a tab with them on it while you're doing something else,
and see what happens.
And yeah, I guess you'll either get whispered or DM'd, or something will be sent to your account. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work, but basically they're not doing like other betas do keys, like Spellbreak did keys where you had to put in a name, and that's what Rogue Company is doing, where you have to sign up and you'll get sent a key or whatever. But they're not doing that with Valorant. So,
and I'll put a link
to you put in there.
I was just say I'll put a link in the video when I post it on YouTube. So if you guys don't know how to look up Valorant on Twitter or anywhere else to sign up, I'll have the link down there with all the rules and what you need to do.
Yeah, that's good. Cool. All right, so let's bust into our news. The first thing we're going to talk about is this isn't really news, I guess. It's just kind of fascinating. It's a YouTube video. Well, I mean, it's basically just a YouTube video right now. They're working on it, but it's from the YouTube channel is Pippin FTS, and what this guy did was he created the Earth in a Minecraft server at 1-to-1 scale, which is crazy. Like the entire Earth in a single server, and you could start in New York and walk around till you hit LA. I don't know.
I wouldn't go to New York right now, though.
Yeah, well, yeah. If you feel like you're a little cooped up at home and you need to get out and travel a bit, load up this Minecraft server and go on vacation. You can go to Italy. But the interesting thing is how he did it, because while Minecraft servers are large and they're infinite, they can't really build a global Earth like this, right? So he had to install a couple of mods. For example, when you build in Minecraft, I think you can only go about 255 bricks high before it stops you. And just like you can't dig down past bedrock either. You know what I'm saying? So there's a limit there. So he had to add a mod that basically shrinks that limit, and it kind of turns each brick into like 4 bricks or something like that. So basically he could build infinitely high by adjusting the scale of that limit. And then he added another mod that took is like a Terra mod, essentially, that turned an image of the Earth and turned it into Minecraft blocks and the full scale planet. And what they're trying to do, the reason we're even talking about it, is he's inviting people through this video that's on YouTube, and I'm sure we'll put it in the link in our description. Um, he's inviting people to join his Discord, and he wants to recreate the man-made structures of the planet in his Minecraft server. So like right now it's just land, right? Like you go on there and you're just walking around flat land or climbing a mountain. You could climb Mount Everest or whatever, but there's no cities or schools, libraries, buildings like that. So he wants to build structures, and he's starting with Seattle, and he wants people to join him and help build the skyline of Seattle on this planet Earth, which is an enormous undertaking, I would imagine. Like just getting one city seems crazy. And
This is not an
then like
invitation to destroy his Earth. We've already destroyed ours. You don't need to destroy
yes.
his.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's not like you can't just like run in there and throw a bunch of TNT down and blow up the earth.
Blow
Like
holes to the core.
yeah. I guess if you're really diehard about destroying the planet, I guess that's the way to do it. But yeah. So if you're interested in that, I think it's really cool. It's just a neat project. There's nothing much else to talk about with it except that
It looks
it's
really
really
good,
cool to look
actually.
at.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
watching the
Yeah.
video.
Yeah. If you go to the video and look at it, like he climbs Mount Everest, so that's how you know that it's in there. He shows you what it looks like, and then he shows different places like Iceland, and he has comparison to like the real versions and stuff like that. It's very cool. It's huge, and I want to go check it out just to see the scale of it, just to like open that server and just have the Earth in front of me and just be like, I have no
He's just
idea.
he's
It's
just going
crazy.
on it too. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, when we play Minecraft, we might have a small farm and some diamonds, and that's that's about the extent of our Minecraft abilities. So to build the
Well,
entire Earth,
in our
but
defense, we'll have big projects. It's just one of us ends up getting bored and tries to blow the other one up with TNT while they're building. So
pretty much, yes, that's exactly right. We would never get this far. We would start building the Earth, and we would build half of Florida, and then somebody would blow it up, and then we'd be like, all right, forget it, we're
we're
good.
done.
Yeah, it's fine. So
Basically, every
uh,
disaster movie ever made, somebody would probably end up reenacting while we're trying to build the planet. So
yeah, more or less. So that's it. That's the thing. Earth in Minecraft. Go check it out. Go join their Discord and get involved with the project if you want to. If you really want to, we'll keep an eye on it and see how it develops. Maybe it'll move faster than we think. Who
and I
knows?
promise I'm still trying to do the Minecraft library too.
Oh yeah, yeah. We want to go check that out too. Um. So next up is more esports. I think it was last week, or yeah, last week we talked about how the NASCAR races have been canceled, so they did a virtual tournament using professional racers and professional casters, commenters, and then they put it on actual Fox Sports. Well, now other sports are following suit. Fox Sports, after the NASCAR thing, picked up Madden and had a tournament that included people like Michael Vick and linebacker Derwin James. And Derwin James actually won the tournament. He beat Vick in the finals, just in case you're wondering. Spoilers, I've ruined it. But they aired a live Madden tournament, and now we have the NBA is going to be airing one, and it's going to be on ESPN, which like Fox Sports was great and it had good viewership. It had 900,000 viewers for the NASCAR thing, but ESPN is like a whole nother level for a video game tournament. That's pretty cool. Um,
Yeah, and they've never. I don't think any esports has ever been on ESPN, has it? Ever?
I
Maybe something
don't know.
small.
Maybe they had like maybe like ESPN 8 the Ocho.
Yeah,
Like one
I
of
was
like
actually gonna say that.
the bottom list ESPN numbers. Maybe they've had video game stuff. I know there was something with Ninja from Fortnite. He was on like ESPN the magazine or something like that. Something, I don't know. So there's been video game stuff in some respects, but I think this is the first time they've had like a big video game tournament, and it's being led by actual NBA players. Like Kevin Durant is going to be in it for one thing, and he's probably the biggest name. There's some other guys, um, like Andre Drummond from the Cavaliers and DeMarcus Cousins. Uh, so there's some other names, but Kevin Durant's the biggest one, and they're going to be doing they're actually going to be playing NBA games through a video game on ESPN. And I don't know that they've ever done that, or at least if they've ever done a tournament, I don't think they've ever done it like beginning to end. Maybe they've done the finals or shown the winners. Because I remember they talked about the Fortnite World Cup had like a 16-year-old that won millions of dollars or something. They talked about that on ESPN, but they didn't show the tournament. They weren't at the event.
No.
So
And this one's supposed to take over a couple of days. It's supposed to be 16 players and like a 2 or 3 day tournament, I think. And you said it's tomorrow, right?
Yeah, and
tomorrow.
they said it starts on April 3rd, so tomorrow. Yep. Uh, yeah, and I mean that's pretty great considering of all the sports, the NBA kind of was affected like the worst, I think, like up there because they actually had to halt their season. They actually had to stop in the middle of playing games. Like the NFL
March
didn't really
Madness
care that
was,
much, right? Oh yeah,
yeah.
March Madness was a big deal too. Canceling March Madness is huge.
Mhm.
So yeah,
I mean,
so
not
that
that you care,
that's
but
pretty great.
opening day for baseball also got canceled. But I know that hurt you hard.
Yeah, yeah, and like I don't really care, but I understand why a baseball
Yeah,
fan would care. But it's not so bad as like you're you're in the middle of the season and it gets canceled, right?
yeah.
Because then
They're
there's
getting
like
close to the
nothing,
playoffs from the NBA, so
right?
and
The NBA was super close to the playoffs. Yeah,
I can't remember who it was. There was a NBA player supposed to be retiring this year, and he got his
Mm.
retirement season cut short.
yeah. See
So
that stuff kind of sucks,
yeah,
especially for these guys, these sports athletes. They don't play very long. They don't have a whole lot of time. In the grand scheme of things, you don't play NBA basketball for very long, right? A
no.
couple of years for most of them. So yeah,
So
that
it's a big
sucks.
deal to have things like that. You had teams that were probably looking forward to their playoff runs and like the retired player. So I mean, it's not gonna be the same as playing a real game, but at least they'll be able to get that little taste in. But I did call it when the iRacing started that the other sports were start picking this up. I was curious how
Yeah.
they're gonna handle it. I kind of joked with my boss today at work. It's like maybe they'll have each player play their own character on the game, and but I
That
don't
would
know
be
how they would do
weird.
that. It
Yeah, that
would
would
be
be
weird.
weird. I guess if you got all the players involved, sure.
Yeah.
No, I think that'd be crazy though. I wonder if
Uh,
they'll even play their same teams. Like
yeah.
it'd be a bit of a betrayal if Kevin Durant didn't play his team. You know what I mean? Like
Start to his rival team instead of playing.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, he plays like their main rivals just because he wants to win or whatever.
I'll
That's
do it.
that's
I
messed
would do
up.
that. That's
Yeah,
totally what I do, unless they threaten
hey,
to
you gotta
stop paying
win.
me.
Gotta win. So yeah. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, we said they did the Madden one. They already did the NASCAR one. And Fox Sports has already said they want to do more NASCAR. And then there's NBA. So now we got to get MLB. I don't know if there are great MLB games. I guess there have to be, right? Everybody has their
I think
game.
it's all run by no. 2K's got some. At least
Mm,
they used to. I don't know 2K. I haven't played a sports game since like the original
Yeah.
Xbox. So
Yeah, I haven't either. But it's
it's
cool that they're, you know, if there was a game that was going to get on TV, it would be a sports game. Like it makes the most sense, especially when you get actual sports players behind it. So that's cool.
yeah.
I
This
like it.
this whole epidemic thing is causing a new light on gaming. I mean, even the world. It was it not World Health. CDC even came out and said that gaming may help everybody get through this epidemic. So like even the CDC is promoting gaming at home just so people
Yeah.
keep sanity and either you want to watch or play. That we talked about, and I can't remember which episode it was, that NBA players are jokingly saying on Twitter, "Can somebody help me set up a stream?"
Right.
Because they got nothing to
Yeah,
do
that's
now,
funny.
so
Yep.
they got to
And
pass time.
and I mean they're basically millionaires anyway, just sitting around in their mansions. They might as well stream video games. Um but it is having a negative effect. I was reading, for example, one of my favorite games is Smite, and Smite
Mhm.
has had so many players that they've actually had to shut off certain features. Like there's a clan feature on Smite, and they've just completely removed it from the game because it was just using up way too many resources. I read Microsoft has had their services increased by 775% or something ridiculous. So Xbox Live is suffering as a result of that. Any game that depends on servers, the servers are getting overloaded everywhere. So uh, everybody's home playing, and now all these companies are scrambling to react. to that
because
which I
they don't
think
have
is
enough server space to host all the new people. I
yeah.
mean, and another game that got hit is I don't know. We didn't really think about we talked about talking about in this episode, but I'll just kind of mention in passing is Last of Us 2 is taking a hit because of the whole
Right.
pandemic
Yeah.
going
Last of
on.
Us 2. Yeah. I don't think we were going to go deep into depth on
No,
it, but yeah, that's a great one to mention. I forgot. I even forgot. I just posted that like an hour ago,
yeah,
and now
you did.
I already forgot. But yeah, Last of Us 2 was delayed indefinitely. They didn't even give it a estimate of when it would release, which is crazy. Like that game has been in development for like 7 years,
And they
and
said they're
is
almost done with it, and now they're like, nope, not coming out.
yeah, it was set to come out on May 29th, and I think
Mm-hmm.
usually video games get finished at least a month or 2 before the release date so that they don't have to worry about it after that point. So it was probably done. Like, it's probably ready to go, and they're just like,
Mm-hmm.
"No, we're not gonna release
Sorry,
it." And
you got to shut it down.
and part of that is because all of their developers are working from home, and part of it, I think, is because they expect, people won't buy it.
Which I don't
I
understand
mean
because video games have had the biggest sales they've had in a while. From what I understand, I heard Steam had a big sale. I don't mean
yeah,
say like
but The
saving
Last of
money.
Us is about a post-apocalyptic world that is
Fair enough. It's a little
ravaged
insensitive.
ravaged by disease. I mean, at least in The Last of Us, it's like a fungus or something that kills people off and makes them crazy or whatever. But it's very similar to
It's
what we're going through.
almost too close to home. Is what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's fair
the other
enough.
day I went to go pick up food and the people come out to me in masks and gloves and they give me a single-use pen that I can keep when I sign my receipt. Like we're living in a post-apocalyptic world right now. So, yeah,
Yeah,
maybe don't want to play that game.
my state's going on lockdown starting tomorrow, so we got a stay at home order, which is exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting times, and these games are affected both negatively and positively by it. So,
Which is fascinating. I think it's
mhm.
fascinating to watch some of this unfold. It's cool. All right. Next
Yeah.
topic. We're moving through these kind of fast. Maybe we should have picked more in-depth topics.
Well, we can rant about our outro thing a little bit if we want to, but
Oh yeah. We could riff about that for hours. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, we
Okay.
could.
So, what was? Oh yes. Well, this one is neat, and I think it's definitely worth talking about. Is a couple of different companies are setting up charity gaming bundles. This is especially important if you're listening and you just like to buy, especially through like Humble Bundle, which is one of them. Humble Bundle has set up they're calling it the Conquer COVID-19 bundle,
Mm-hmm.
and basically when you buy this bundle, you get a set of games that they've already predetermined, and the more you pay, the more games you get. But you can pay like a base price of like $30 to get just a crap ton of games. Like there's a ton
Yeah,
of them.
and they're
And
not
then if you
garbage games
pay,
either.
yeah, no, they're and that yeah, we'll talk about the games too. But if you pay more than like that's the way Humble Bundle works. Like you pay more than the average of what people are paying, then you get like couple little extra things tossed in there. So that's totally up to you. But they've already raised $3.5 million, which is pretty awesome to go towards COVID-19, and that's just from gamers like me and Anthony and you,
Speaking
listener,
of
your
which,
listener.
yeah, you're here. I'm on Twitch, so most likely you're a gamer. So,
Yeah.
I did they specify what exactly the 3.5 is going? Well, whatever their final number is going to be once this ends. Did they? I know you said it's for COVID, but is it going towards like a vaccine research or aid for?
It is specifically going towards protective gear for healthcare workers and providing medical care to infected patients. That's what it says on the main screen.
Which actually,
So,
and I should have looked into this because that hits close to home. My wife is a registered nurse. She's working at a nursing home. I almost called it something else. A nursing home, and they got nothing to protect her, and they just accepted their first recovering COVID patient into the home, and now there's concern of people having relapses or like it just goes dormant and then just comes right back. So she's under threat of even having to live at work for about 2 or 3 weeks because they don't want her getting infected and bringing it into the job. And they're so short manned right now that they can't afford losing any nurses right now. So And what her best friend, who was supposed to be the bridesmaid at our wedding, which I mean, hopefully, if this clears up in August, will be. She's working. She's got moved from her floor to specifically help with COVID. I can't remember what floor she worked, but she normally wouldn't be dealing with diseases. It'd be, I think it's a lot of like accident related things, but because of this, she's been pulled out of her floor to help deal with COVID stuff. So
And
this is
I've
a
seen
good
that a lot.
charity.
Like a lot of like they're closing down, because they're not doing like elective surgeries anymore. So the people that helped
Mm-mm.
with elective surgeries are now helping with COVID-19 and stuff like that. So I mean it's crazy just how what I mean I think we're doing pretty good as a country with social distancing and self isolation and stuff, and it's still overwhelming our hospitals and our staff, healthcare workers and stuff like that. So
You
it's
got
crazy.
vets that were in the medical field when they're in the military. They're coming out of retirement just to help out. You got combat medics. You got I can't believe I forgot what they call the medics from the Marines, but you got all these guys and
Like
girls.
in
Or
Corpsman,
corpsmen. Thank you. Yes,
yeah, the Navy, by the way. Marine doesn't have
I know,
corpsmen.
but
They're Navy.
the
They're Navy
Marines don't have their
because
own
the
medics.
Navy own the Marines, so we're basically in charge of them. They are responsible to us. So what? What are we talking
Uh,
about?
we were just talking about
We
the
just lost. We
fundraiser.
just lost all of our Marines listeners. By the way, they're all like, "No, screw that guy. No way."
You think they're going to listen to a Navy sailor and an airman in the first place?
Yeah, no, they're not tuning into us.
Yeah, but we were just talking about how. So if you guys want to, if you think of a way you can help out and maybe get some boredom out of your way while you're in your own form of isolation, whatever your state's got set right now, yeah, hop over to Humble Bundle and get yourself the Conquer COVID pack for $30 and pay a little more. I guess you get more games as you go, and it goes for a pretty good cost. There's a lot of
Yeah.
companies doing things like that. Like my home state my home state, one of our flagship companies that everybody's proud of from Maine, LL Bean, shut its doors for the first time since it's ever opened. They've been open 24 hours, 7 days a week, and because they're not open anymore, they're taking their machines to make dog beds and starting to make masks for the medical workers. So everybody's doing their part to help. So this is a way you can do your part and get something out of it.
Yeah, that's the nice thing. You get some games, and they're good games too. I did want to talk about like some of the like highlights, like the top 3 games on the bundle are Into the Breach, Undertale, and Hollow Knight, and those games right there, those 3 games are worth $30 easy. And then
Hollow
you
Knight,
still
I know,
have
is a big one. Yeah.
yeah, Hollow Knight is great, and Into the Breach, I played the crap out of that game. If you've never played that game, it's definitely got dozens of hours of playtime. It's a shoot, I always forget roguelike, kind of like
Mm.
um man, what is wrong with me? The Binding of Isaac. I'm just slipping on names. It's a roguelike like Binding of Isaac or Slay the Spire and any number where you keep going back. So it's pretty good. A couple other names. Super Hot is in there. That game's been around a while. I know I've had it for a while, but that's a fun game. The Witness. It's even got Lego Batman.
Everybody
What
loves
else is
Lego
in here?
games.
Yeah, Darksiders. Those games are fun. Darksiders and Darksiders 2. That's cool. Sniper Elite 3 if you're more of a shooter, tactical shooter guy. It's got the Jackbox Party Pack. That's
Oh, that's
fun. Those are
actually,
fun
I've been
games.
thinking about getting the Jackbox Party Pack. So
Yeah, those are fun to play with friends, and you can play them online these days.
yeah, since your
Uh,
guys are doing social distancing, that's how you can play with your friends in a party format. Turning it
yeah,
into a drinking game or whatever. Knock yourselves
yeah.
out.
It's
Not
got
literally,
Psychonauts,
please.
Brutal Legend. Oh, please knock yourself out. It's fine. Psychonauts, Brutal Legend, Broken Age, and Adventure, all from Double Fine Studios. So if you know any of those games, they're all really good. World of Goo, that game was fun. That's an older game. You probably already have that. But if you don't, this is the way to get it. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I'm not going to read every single title, but those are just the ones that stuck out to me as I'm scrolling through
Yeah,
the
the
list.
list was pretty extensive. So
Yeah, it's huge. There's a ton of games in there. So you're gonna have a huge backlog of games to play when you donate to charity.
now,
Uh,
Bundle normally makes you pay for a subscription to get like their packs and stuff. Are they gonna make you do that this time, or is this a one-time fee?
no, this is just a one-time thing.
Okay,
Um, yeah, this
I
is
know.
just a one-time thing. Yeah, and then you'll get the keys, and then you take them to Steam and unlock your games.
knock
So
yourselves out, have some fun.
and some of those games are multi-platform too, so you can like get it on Steam and then like on your iPhone or whatever. So that's cool.
Jackbox
Yeah,
TV, one of them.
probably. I would
I
imagine.
mean, most of the time when you're playing with friends, the others are usually on their phone doing their answers and stuff. So
Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because you just download the app and go in that way. Yeah, Jackbox would be fun. We should do one of
mhm.
those like on a Friday night.
Kind of
Something like that.
related, yeah, kind of related and unrelated. Cards Against Humanity's doing a digital version of their game for people to play.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot with a lot of like Cards Against Humanity. There's another one called Exploding Kittens, and they've come out with like a digital version. Yeah, that one's fun. You try not to get exploded by kittens. Yeah, and there's a couple of other like adult party games like that where usually you need like 6 people around a table, but you can't
so,
do that these days. So they've had to
nice.
adapt.
Yep.
That's
Social
cool. That's
distancing.
great. Yeah. And I imagine Cards Against Humanity would be really easy to do over like
Yeah.
Zoom or a video chat. Like it's not that complicated of a game.
No.
So that could be fun.
And it's great if you got friends that are cheap or lazy like me and don't buy their own version of Cards Against Humanity. You just go online. There you go. Everybody can play.
Yeah. It's good.
I didn't
Yeah,
see if they're charging for it
that's
or
true.
what.
We'll say it again.
I didn't see if they were charging for it or not. I didn't get to look into it because again, it wasn't really something we were going to talk about today. So.
It's usually just something like they put out like a different set of rules because you kind of have to adapt some of the rules to playing over video. You have to be more wary of video lag where people don't respond right away and things like that. So that's what they tell
Yeah.
you to do. So, yeah, so that's great, and that's pretty much it for our topics. Yeah,
Yeah.
we went through those pretty quick.
We had other topics, but we'll probably save them for later. Just to go back to our intro about Valorant, if you guys are interested, Quixo is starting to do individual videos for each hero. So if you want to know what the hero's abilities are and more in depth, I kind of mentioned them in our Valorant video. I only picked like a couple of them, but I think from what I've been able to see, and I haven't been able to watch too many, he's going by one to show you their play styles. So if you guys are interested to see what the heroes are like, and you can go check out Quixo
Yeah.
on YouTube.
I saw on the official Valorant Twitter they were also doing like little quick videos that just show different abilities and things like that. Like one of the guys has a drone that can mark targets and shoot like a bolt and stuff like that. So they were showing just videos of how that stuff worked. So that's a cool way to see that stuff too. And a lot of the abilities look pretty fun. I personally prefer abilities over gunplay. So if I can do more with my abilities to enhance my guns rather than the other way around, I'm all on board that. So looking forward to it.
JD and I both sign up for the beta one. All we need to do is now wait for the streams to start popping up and watch. We sign up for the Rogue Company beta several times, so I'm sure if we get into either of those, you will give you more detailed feedback on what we think of the game. If we truly still feel like Valorant's a lot like Shadowrun, or if it's its own separate thing. So. Yeah, look forward to that in future episodes once the Valorant comes out for beta.
So we're pretty much done. We just got to do our outro. And one of the things we wanted to talk about with our outro is that there's a new podcast that's not our podcast that we are interested in because it's specifically about the TV show Scrubs. And that is one of those shows that was out when we first met, and we kind of all of us bonded over that show because it was just hilarious to watch. And we've gotten to the point now where we can quote it pretty much at will. And the stars of that show, Zach Braff and Donald Faison, are because of COVID-19, decided to go ahead and go through with starting a rewatch podcast.
Which
So
they kind of joked about at first, right? And it was the COVID that kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like they were just kind of teasing. Like I saw like Zach Braff tweeted about it a couple times, and he's like, "We should do a rewatch podcast." Ha ha ha. And they're like, "Oh," and then everybody responds like, "Yes, please do that. Why aren't you doing that?" So, but now they're stuck in their homes. They got nowhere to go, so they actually decided to start doing it, which is great. So each episode they watch or each podcast they watch an episode and then they kind of give their background information on it, like what it was like acting it. And the first one's like 70 minutes long, but that's because
Wow.
yeah, it's crazy. But they talk about like auditioning and they talk about each individual cast member and what it was like to meet people and stuff like that. So if you're really into Scrubs, that was really cool. It's really good
Well,
background information.
they give you random information too. I guess Donald had braces because he still had baby teeth or something.
Yeah, that's one of the things they talked about in the podcast because I guess Donald Faison, first of all, has a really bad receding hairline, and so he started shaving his head during the movie Clueless because he was in that movie, and then he just kept it up because he just can't grow his hair. And then also he had baby teeth until he was like 27 or 28,
Wow.
and the show started when he was like 26. So he had baby teeth in the first few seasons of the show, and he hated it. I guess it embarrassed him or whatever. So he tried to get braces, and he tried to get invisible braces because obviously he was an actor. You can't
Hmm.
just show up with braces in one episode. But it I guess he talked so badly. They I don't know what they did. I mean, he had to have him there for a couple episodes at least, apparently. But I don't know which episodes they were. I'd have to go back and listen and see if I could spot when he's lisping or
That
whatever.
would be kind of fun to do. I got my
Yeah,
wife watching Scrubs. We've seen only the first episode so far. She loved it, at the same time hated it because she's like, man, it's funny, but now it's making me think about work, and I really don't want to
right.
think about work while I'm home. So
Yeah, that would I would imagine that would be annoying for a healthcare worker, especially right now, to go home
yeah,
and watch more healthcare workers. Like that would be weird.
they
But
got that
yeah,
quarantine episode where JD jokes about getting SARS, and they locked down the
right.
hospital.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
And
would be a
SARS was also a coronavirus. So that's funny.
so.
Yeah. Definitely don't want
uh,
that.
Has a lot of good memories with that show. We would always order Pizza Hut, have it delivered, get some drinks, and just we'd chill in. Usually, uh, Gilbert's room. He gave me permission to use his name on the podcast, by the way. Um, Gilbert, our friend Gilbert, had the biggest TV out of all of us because he decided to buy a huge rear projected TV, which was a pain in the butt to get from the BX to the dorms, but we did it. And we usually play a couple video games and then spend the rest of the night watching Scrubs, maybe even play some Insane Cloud Posse, the
Oh my
ICP
word.
game.
The Insane Cloud Posse. It was like board game. Yeah. Oh man, that was so bad.
Trying to get to
That was
the
funny.
get to Shangri-La. There's a lot, JD, and like you said, we got good memories from that game. It's what brought our group together. The guys you hear us play with all the time when I'm streaming or in our videos, that's Zombie, Airman, and Ungodly. Ungodly, actually, his name used to be Shiny Scalpel after the Todd when he's doing the dum dum dum
Yeah,
dum
that's
dum
right.
dum.
Yeah, his first
Shiny,
gamer tag was Shiny Scalpel. Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
I love that. That
because
clip.
we all
Dun, dun, dun,
we all.
dun, Shiny Scalpel.
I wonder what he's thinking about.
Yeah, that's funny.
And the reason why he did that, because we all joked, was like, which character would we be? We decided JD would be Dr. Cox. I was Teddy Theodore, and Ungodly.
Yeah, you are our
was
sad sack.
I'm the
And yeah,
sad sack.
yeah, he's very much the Todd. Definitely. Only less successful and with a smaller wiener. What? What? What are we talking about? Where's this going?
Ungodly can never catch a break at all. That man could be sick somewhere, and we'll still crack jokes about him, even though he can't hear us, because we can.
It's just fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you want to go listen to that Scrubs podcast, it's called Fake Doctors, Real Friends, and it's pretty much anywhere you can download a podcast. Except I don't think it's on Apple Podcasts yet because it's new, and just like ours,
It's
Apple takes
struggling.
forever. Yeah, Apple takes forever to review new podcasts, so it's probably not out there yet, just like ours isn't. But it
That's
will
a
be
nice
soon.
segue. It's a nice segue into where our podcasts are being found. So there you go.
That's right. Yeah. So you can listen to our podcast while you're subscribing to Fake Doctors, Real Friends. You can subscribe to NTWP. We are pretty much everywhere. We're on Google Podcasts and Overcast. What are the other ones?
Archer
I want to say
TV
like Breaker. I'm gonna have to look it up. Hold on. Just gonna look it up real quick.
Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify. Yeah, because we host through Anchor right now, So it's always going to be on Spotify first before it's anywhere else. But yeah, there's Breaker, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Spotify, and Anchor. Yeah. So you can find our podcast anywhere that you're listening to podcasts. And then you can find the other Scrubs podcast and listen to that one too. And they're both awesome. So you're lucky. You're welcome.
We may be a little more awesome because we don't have the celebrity. We're working
we're
from
definitely
nothing.
Awesome. That's right. That's right.
And they're working off their already established fame. We're starting from the bottom. So
that's right. We're going to be famous someday, but we aren't now, unfortunately.
We're going to be like artists and painters who died. They're famous after they died, and nobody cared about their painting when they were painting. And then once they're gone, they're like, hey, this is pretty good. But too bad they can't enjoy it because they're dead.
Yay. Hooray. I hope not. That would suck. Well, it wouldn't suck because I'd be dead, so I wouldn't care. But still.
Your son could be collecting royalties off of it.
Screw him. He's a jerk.
But I think that's about it, right? For this episode?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I guess we can wrap it up. Yeah, if you want to get in touch with us, you want to talk about the podcast, you want to, I don't know, send us art or something, whatever you do, use hashtag NTWP on Twitter, and we will look at it, we will check it out, and we will get back to you, or we'll even feature it on the podcast or whatever. But other than that, I think we're good for this week.
I have a challenge, actually, and you just made me think of it. I will give a free game code to anybody who can do their own artist rendition of JD.
Wow. Wow. Let's see if anybody even tries. Please
I know,
don't.
It may be slim, but I would love it if people actually attempted to do their own artistic rendition of you.
Please don't. Let's not. Let's not and say we did. Do an artist rendition of us both. Like, do both of us together and not just me. And then we'll feature it as the art on our podcast. How about that?
And use hashtag NTWP to submit your submissions.
Yeah,
and if you're not an artist yourself, do it anyway. And if you don't feel like you want to,
that'll be terrible. Awful.
Share it around with your friends who may be artists and may be interested in getting a free game. So go ahead and.
Yeah, that works for me. All right. Thanks for listening. We will do this again next week. We'll have some more topics. Until then, stay safe, stay home, wash your hands. Don't go around touching random people in general and now.
Yes. Okay. And if you got a stay-at-home order in your state, probably best you don't violate it. So don't.
Yep. Just stay at home. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.
Take it easy. Have a good one.